Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday. It is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025, and it's 10 a.m. Central Time, as I have been doing the last couple of weeks. I hope that some of you will find the show in the morning and just watch the replay. I mean, I know a lot. I've built up over the last couple of years. I built up some, some fans of what I'm doing. So please don't hesitate to watch the replay and let me know what you think. And of course, we have our evening show still on Thursdays. Today is all about what's growing on in the world, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. This is We Grow Wednesday. I am your host, Waylon, the indoor farmer. Let's grow. Let's grow. Nope. Okay. Making sure the mic is working this time. It should be working. Hey, Rose, thank you for popping in. I appreciate it on the Rumble. If you are watching us from anywhere but Rumble, like such as the Facebook, you will notice that your comments aren't being able. I'm not able to see the comments unless I go over here on the phone, which I do not want to do. Can I get it to refresh? See, you can't even. Yeah, it's almost unusable. Doesn't really matter. Um, I'll do a quick at followers for whatever reason. Oh, it doesn't even allow me to do at followers anymore. That's strange. Huh. At top fans. Wow, they took away my at followers. You know what? If you're watching me on Facebook, you got to come find me on Rumble. Huh, look at that. At followers doesn't work for me anymore. That's great. That's awesome. Why would it? Anyway, I've got my friend Hamad that's supposed to be coming in later today. I don't know if we're going to see him or not, but I hope we do. Going to be checking out what's growing on in the meantime. Why don't we try to share this to my group real quick? Let's see. I'm really curious to see if my profile can do at followers still. Nope, just at highlights. They took away the at followers now. Interesting. Maybe I'm the one that I'm just. It's just me. Am I special? They took it away from just me. Let's grow. Well, this is really annoying for the productivity of the show, but let's check it out anyway and see if at everyone still works. It does. Okay. Okay. Well, it's a weird one, but we here. Let's see. Copy the link. Let's send it over to the. If you guys are not in my group on Facebook, um, go join the group. But I also have a group messenger, like a messenger group for my group, and I share things in there, like when I'm going to be live and all that good stuff, and what the topics are and that kind of thing. So check it out. Got a good little community in there. Let's go over to X real quick. If you guys are watching from X, if you happen to pop in on X, you probably can't comment unless you are verified, but you can comment on the post. You can comment below the post. Comment below the post. Okay. All that work just to start the show. It's a pretty sad state of affairs, but we are here. All right. Well, some of you may have noticed I didn't have a show yesterday when my account was taken. They removed my at followers. Huh. Well, I don't believe my account has been taken, but it is what it is. If they do take it, I'm out. Facebook, I don't, I'll stay as long as I am allowed, but I'm not going to jump through any hoops, and a lot of you already know that. But I tell you what, guys, maybe they just don't like what I talk about, you know, self sustainability, because as you know, I don't, I've kind of stopped smoking as much on screen. Like that's not it. So it's haters, and it's talking about self sustainability and maybe things that they don't like otherwise. So it is what it is. We're gonna get to it. Watch me over on Rumble. That's where we prefer. And Let's see. Let's share the entire screen in here. I don't know of anything off the top of my head. I typically keep an eye on what's going on as far as over on X. You see a lot of different news sources that post things, and I usually have something, an idea of something to talk about from like viral issues. But today I'm recovering from a little bit of a sickness, but also like it was like a 24-hour thing. But I also went to the wildlife prairie park yesterday after that with my son for a field trip. So if you notice, I didn't have my show yesterday. That was what it was all about. Went over to the wildlife prairie park, and I tell you what, it's really interesting that what they do there. It's not a zoo, but it's very much like a zoo. It's a preserve, I guess you might call it. They're all indigenous species, things that are in and around the area, which is central Illinois. And the portion of the park that they have where it's like there's an old farmstead, an old house that you may have lived in back in the, little house on the prairie type days. It's a very, very, like, it's a blast from the past. It is a smack in the face. Like, when you look at the bed, you look at the children's toys, you look at the outhouse, all of these things, and there are people that still live like that. Obviously, we have third world countries, people that still live in huts made of mud. And so trying to keep that in perspective every day while we move about our day, like, oh, this upgrade on my house, or this, this repair or this project, uh, it's a constant battle, no matter what level of I guess prosperity that you have. Upkeep and of ourselves, of our families, of our homes. It's a constant thing, and I think a lot of people envision getting rich and making so much money that one day they no longer have to do any of those things. Like, I don't have to worry about it. It's money, and that is a thing. There are people out there like that, but that's very few people, for one. And for two, it leaves you with nothing at the end. Like, you just go through your life and spend and spend, and like, you're not thinking of the future if you're not constantly trying to work towards something. And even people that have a lot of money, like, they want to pass something on to their kids, or they want to build a company that helps a lot of people or whatever. Like, some people that have wealth are also constantly working. And so it's not, so people think of work like, oh, I got to go to work. No, like, you woke up today, it's work. It's work time. For some people it's hard, it's work just to get out of bed. And it's not easy just to get through the day for a lot of people. So this is one of the reasons that I do what I do. I try to, I'm not perfect. I have a lot of my own problems. We talk about it. I'm open about it. Uh, but that's what we need to have. We need to have this connection between each other, and not such a polished vision of who's on the TV that, oh, they're so perfect. Why? How could they ever, understand my problems? So it's. I know I'm rambling here, but there's a lot going on, and I think perspective is key, and to remember that, yes, sometimes your problems are just first world problems, kind of silly problems, but they're still problems. And overcoming problems and problem solving is a skill that you have to sort of work at and continue to flex. You know what I mean? uh hey, what's up, Jess? Hello, Kayla, Chris. Let me put you guys on the screen so that the Facebookers can see that their live chat could be on the screen here. It could be just big and bold and beautiful right here on the screen. Oh, I'm going to do 2 spins tonight for the number wheel. So if anybody is watching that hasn't gotten themselves a number, I will be checking it before I do the spin and, getting numbers out. Uh, Rose says we have Village and Genesia, Genesi, Genes, Genesi. I'm not sure how to say it. County, and it's from the old days. They show you how they lived back then. Yeah, yeah, it's very much like that. And I've taken video and done reviews for this Wildlife Prairie Park a couple times in the past. We go there like every year on this field trip. But it is such a cool thing. Like there's a table with all these old sort of gadgets and tools that you're supposed to guess what the tool was for, and then there's different like slots to see if it's yes or no. And it's pretty cool because you're just like, what the heck is this? And then you find out it's a butter curler. A what? A butter curler? Like, what was the use for that? Like I don't know. I still don't know, but it is funny. Hey, what's up, Kristen? What's up, everybody on the Facebook? I see some comments over there. I can't see them that well because they're on my tiny phone all the way over here. But if you want to come over to Rumble, we'll see you right here on the screen. Isn't that nice? Uh, just just staying on the book for now. That's okay, Brenda. I know you're one of the locals members. I guess watch me from wherever. Just remember that Facebook doesn't like me. So if you want to help me, uh, you can find me on locals like Brenda does. Brenda is our current champion for game night this week. So if anybody wants to go up against Brenda on Sunday, playing some Farkle, playing those dice, we need more people to challenge. We need more challengers. If you like prizes, we give out 20, 21 prizes every Sunday. If you like that, if you want to help support me on this vision that I have of a sort of homestead living grocery store, indoors, all year long farmers market that produces green energy, if you think that's a worthwhile cause to get behind, go subscribe for $2 a month on the indoorfarmer.locals.com. And if you would hit the like button as we get started with the show, I'm just going to randomly pull up some websites that we usually go to, like Farm Week Now. If you didn't see my little segment I did a couple days ago, we talked about the new trade deal between the UK and the US. See if see what the new headlines are these days. Illinois County crop yields among top in nation. Okay, I mean, we are a farming state per se. You'll go up against her on Sunday. Okay, we have a challenger. We have a challenger. Oh, so Rose says they churn butter there too. Okay. Oh, I see at that place. I want to know what the curler is. Am I still playing? Oh, that's right, Chris. I believe Brenda did ask you to play for her, so it'll be Rose versus Chris. We could actually take two more players. So hey, what's up, JS? Oh, hey, Scroy, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you coming over here. Look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna post your comment on the screen. That's what's up, man. It's free. Rumble's free, and Rumble allows me to do things like read a quick ad, and make a buck. Without you guys paying me anything. Just being here to support is helpful on the Rumble side. Um, Mom says, "Looks like Sprout is napping." Yeah, this is his nap spot, Mom. He always, like, as soon as I start talking, as soon as I start the show, he goes from up and excited and energetic to just boom. He's just nap time. It's funny. He's actually had little Sprout has had the little Hershey squirts the last couple of days, so we've been up like 20 times through the night to take him outside. He's been very good about it though. He'll yipe at me from the bed. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, that's the crop growth. New ag group focuses on rural mental health. Okay, that's interesting. Rural mental health, yeah, because you're so alone out there in the wilderness, right? Kayla knows what I'm talking about. Kayla lives on a ranch in Montana. You got to be like miles from the nearest person. I can't imagine. Let's see. Let's check this one out real quick. This is from 9 hours ago. I'm interested to see what they talk about here. As an agribusiness professional, Matt Gritton knows the stress people in agriculture are under. After one of his farmer friends died by suicide, he and his wife Heather decided they want to lessen the chances of this happening again. Grittons organized the first barn meeting April 24th for the new ag chapter of the Gray Matters Collective. The Gray Matters Collective, which focuses on mental health. Uncertainty, including wealth and weather and trade, is part of the everyday life of the agriculture community. That's interesting. Yes, it is. That's going to be, honestly, I foresee, before we go further, I foresee agriculture communities and living communities merging more and more, living next to farms and stuff like that. It's, people moving out of cities, spreading out a little bit more. Brenda started killing it at the end of Farkle. Yeah, bro, she took you out pretty easily, Chris. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to come back and you know, what's the word? Redeem yourself. Yes. Yeah, Brenda won 4 prizes last week just from, 1 week. So, and also let me, I'll talk about it after the story though, actually. We see the stress that it plays on every day or everyone involved in ag through all the employees and the farmers themselves. Personally, I had a friend who committed suicide during harvest. Wow. During harvest too. Like that's their you know, the busiest time. I mean, I guess I don't know exactly if it's the busiest time, but it's one of their busiest times. I just don't want to hear that happening anymore, Critton told Jim Taylor of the RFD radio network. Heather Greiton pointed out that the suicide rate is 3 times higher in the agriculture community than it is in general public. Oh wow! Has anyone ever heard of this? See, look at this. Kayla says her closest neighbor is 3 miles away. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it seems very isolated out there. So if you see people such as Kayla posting on social media a lot, it's like, hey, that's their connection to people. And I mean that's how it is for me too. But I gotta admit, I have people right next to me everywhere. I'm friends with my neighbors. Let's see. The Gray Matters Collective started at Augustana College in Rock Island in 2018. It was designed to educate students on how to help themselves and others with mental health problems, provide resources, create a safe community to exchange ideas and empower them. It spread to schools in the region in both Illinois and Iowa, said Tara Mayhew, Rock County Rock County Farm Bureau. Never heard of Rock County manager. Okay. Rock Ridge High School in rural Rock Island County. So are they saying Rock Island County or County? Okay. Anyway, Rock Island County started its school chapter in 2021. It meets monthly during the school year, holding mental health oriented activities with overtones of encouragement and support for each other, said Ann Bosak, a school counselor and the school's Gray Matters co sponsor with Brandy Neese, a social studies teacher. A group of students advocates works hard or advocates work hard. Like, student advocates works hard. Okay, there's a too many S's there. Works hard to come up with engaging activities that also address these tough mental health related issues in a safe way, Bozak said. Collective has grown from schools to many different groups, including women, men, first responders, veterans, and now the ag community. Among those attending the first Gray Matters Ag Chapter Barn meeting were Rock Island CFB's Mayhew and Katie Leilman, Henry CFB manager, because mental health is a priority for their organizations. It is something that needs to be done, Mayhew said for the Farmer Focus Gathering. While the Gray Matters Collective often focuses on middle school and high school students, the Ag chapter is for all ages, Mayhew told Farm Week. Yeah, because think about kids. Think about kids on a farm. I've thought about it. I'm trying to build a farm. I'm going to have an indoor farm, but also there's going to be a lot of stuff outside, of course. And if I have, my kid, and maybe if I end up having any more, or if I start to adopt, like I have a sort of a plan to adopt if I get the business so going so well that money is a little less of an issue. These are things I've talked about before, but what I'm saying is, like, or if I have move family in that have kids on a farm, they're going to get hard work. They're going to learn important lessons. They're probably going to have some fun too. But the kids are still going to be that they still have that sort of isolation, that sort of feeling like it's all like a lot of pressure on you. So it is an interesting point that they make to of all ages, right? Something has to be viewed as a weakness. Heather Gritton said, "People often stay silent while struggling, but that silence can be damaging." I missed something here. All right. Okay, I missed some. Matt and Heather Greiton, owners of Lynn Implements Repair Center in Henry County, got involved because mental health isn't talked about enough in the ag community. I agree. I didn't really even think about it in the ag community. Honestly, I thought it was I thought it was to be honest, I thought it was kind of a privilege of the people who are in like more urban or not necessarily just cities, but not. I wasn't thinking rural. For one thing, I know some of the numbers on suicide as far as like men are more likely. I think it's white men are the most likely. I'm not 100% sure, but on that, but I know that there's not a lot of suicide in like the third world. I know it's a sort of privilege of the first world, people that just have this like no direction in life because they don't have to do anything. But this is sort of opening my eyes here a little bit, thinking about our farming community, because I kind of think about the farm community like out in the country, the people are working hard, they don't have time or care about all the you know sort of idiosyncrasies of social anxieties of people, but I was wrong. you know Let's see here. Anyone interested in agriculture can come to the Gray Matters Ag Chapter Barn Talk, whether it is to find out resources or just to speak with others about mental health. Barn Talks will be held monthly to provide consistency. Mental health isn't just a once in a while thing, she said, adding that it's something each one of us needs to take care of daily. So I'm actually I'm gonna make a note here because I think I'd like to go to one of these monthly barn talks, mental health. Okay, that's very interesting. If you're in the Central Illinois area, if you want to go with me, if you want to go over there, check it out. You don't have to be suicidal to go and attend some of these types of meetings. In fact, maybe it's a good idea to do so sooner rather than later. Comment below. What do you guys think? I'm looking at comments now. Hey, Chris, you're back. I live in a holler surrounded by farms where they can be um, innovative, extract the CBD farm from a place up here, extract CBD from a farm and place up here, but to get even to Walmart, it's a 20-minute drive. Yeah, yeah. I lived like that out in a place called Metamora for a long time. Not a long time, but for a few years. It's 140 miles round trip to get to Walmart in Billings. Holy cow! That is. I mean, I don't shop at Walmart because I have other options. But honestly, when a Walmart moves into a small town somewhere, yes, you're going to have some small businesses get run out or outpriced or whatever, which is really not a good thing. But it's also kind of a godsend to a lot of those people out there that can't access things. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I'm all for small business. I'm much more for small business than I am for Walmart. But Walmart, you can't deny the distribution of a big box store with a lot more options and different items. So it kind of sucks. Um, it's too bad because think about every small mom and pop shop. If they got so big, if they got to a certain size, of course they would be Walmart. They would end up turning into a big box store, right? So every small business, you know, in a lot of small business member or owners will tell you that they're not planning to get that big or whatever. But if it happened, it happens, and sometimes it's unexpected growth, and that can be a bad thing. Let's see, I think that was the end of this article. Let me just bring up something about game night because I had an issue, or I have had a few people that have unsubscribed because I changed my policy on game night to where the players have to be there to win the prizes. But I want to clarify something. It's a kind of a loose rule because what I want to happen is if you're busy working, you're busy doing things on a Sunday, fine. But if you're still in the list, in the game list, go ahead, get in there, And what happens is people can go and tag you, maybe ask a friend that's going to be there, hey, tag me if I win something. I'm all for that. Tag them on the Facebook side, or go in the DMs. Hey, you won, get over here. You got about 2 minutes to get over here. We have a bit of a lag, so what we do is about 2 minutes now. I think we're going to do for each winner. We'll try to. I mean, that might make things take a lot longer, but that's okay. 1 to 2 minutes ish will give you some time to come back. But I just want to point out, coming back, re-commenting, it sort of helps in the algorithm too. So those revisits and things like that. So it's all about trying to help build the game night to be bigger and better and more fun, more prizes, more people involved. And I can't do that if I don't have people there watching, if I don't have somewhat of an audience, you know what I mean? And so I had to change the rules. But I want to point out, you don't need to go anywhere. For one thing, like I said, people can tag you and send you a message. But for two, I give away 8 other prizes throughout the week, which if you are not a member, you get to get a game night ticket, which gets you into game night. If you are a member, you get an indoor farmer coupon, which is like store credit for all sorts of things. You can get stuff from any of our sponsors with that. You can get stuff from me. You can use it as a game night ticket. And so therefore you need to get in on the number wheel. It's once a week. I do it right after game night usually, or before Monday show. I make a post on Locals, the indoorfarmer.locals.com, and all you have to do is go over there, comment, and hit the like button, and I will give you a number, and I will do the spin 3 or 4 times, actually 4 times a week on every show. And since we didn't do it yesterday, I'm going to do twice today. But that's 16 times a month to try and win a game night ticket, which then you don't have to be there on game night. You can just use it, and you get put in the list, and you don't have to be there. So I know that's a lot to ramble about, but I've had a few people now actually hit me up. One person, no offense to that person, I think we cleared it up, and I appreciate it. But they were like, "Hey, how do I unsubscribe? I can't be there for this." Well, look, it's not as big of a deal as you might think. It's not like I'm not like, hey, 10 seconds. If you're not here, but it, it is about encouraging butts in seats. We need butts in seats. So it's not like I said, it's not a hard fast rule, but I also give away 16 4 times a week. I give away a door prize for anyone that comes in over on the Rumble. You get another chance to win a gift or a coupon or an indoor farmer game night ticket. Now, that's 16 times, or no, that's 8 times a week. That's 32 times a month that you could win a game night ticket from not even being at game night at all, just on the other shows. So I hope that makes sense to somebody out there who was wondering. And I hope that you don't join just for the giveaways. That's not what the giveaways are for. The giveaways are to show appreciation and to make sure that there's some sort of value that I'm adding before I get better, so much better at the show, that it's just the value in itself, which I think it already is, in my opinion. But I still do like to give things away, so it is what it is. We're not doing giveaways just to get people here right this minute, but we are doing giveaways to appreciate those who have been here. So that's what the door prize is for. It's not a hey, uh, you know. But I do also try to get to a certain number. If they give me an option for a read, it looks like if we get to 25 people, I can read an ad about Rumble Premium. That would be awesome, but it's not a have to. So I will offer that to Facebook. If we can get 10 more people in here on the Facebook side, just because you can tag on the Facebook side, I can't ask Rumblers to get more Rumblers in here unless you send them a message somewhere else. Anyway, you could do that if you want to share the Rumble stream out or reshare it within Rumble. I appreciate doing that. But anybody on the Facebook, if you want to help us get up to 25, help tag and share, that'd be great. If we do get up there, I'll throw the Facebook people who are in here on the door prize wheel. Okay, back to the show. Let's get let's get into yeah. We'll wait. We'll wait on the marijuana moment. Let's look at foodandwine.com. Food and Wine Classic in Aspen. Interesting. Tickets on sale. I wonder what those cost. Let's see. Look at that. Hey, what's up, Heather? I see you popped in on the Facebook side. What's up? Anybody else on the Facebook at the hashtag WTIF if you're out there? Okay, but yeah, look at this. It's almost 3 grand. The package details access to the grand tasting pavilion, open 5 times throughout the weekend. Sample food, wine, and spirits from over 200 brands. Opportunity to sign up for cooking demonstrations and beverage s- seminars. I thought I was going to say sommelier. I don't know. That's a wine term. Over 40 to choose from. Interesting. That is interesting. I should email them and say, hey, look, I read from your website on my show every week. You should throw me a free ticket. Oh wow. They'll be like, here's 50% off. Like I still don't I'm not still not spending $1,500 on a ticket. Wow, that's crazy. You'd be bumping elbows with some of the the elites of the country, I'm guessing. All the Epstein friends. Um Impossible Whopper, nope. Regular Whopper or Impossible Whopper, it's a big no. It's a big no. Sure, it tastes delicious with all sorts of injected flavorings and such. How some veggie burgers have stood the test of time as fast food restaurants. Yeah, I already read. We read that I think last week, or read something similar, and I can tell you that from the studies they've done, people aren't buying it. People are not into the fake meat, the or the not fake meat, but the veggies shaped as meat, because there is also fake meat that's being 3D printed. I think I read a story on that last week as well. Love Diet Coke. You have my dad to thank for that. What? All right. I don't love Diet Coke. These chefs can help you make better scrambled eggs. Now, look, I make a mean scrambled egg. I don't know about you guys, but I make a mean scrambled egg. Um, you stop buying groceries, or let me go back to some comments here. I'd go. I'm in Central Illinois. Okay. Um, what was that for there? Scroy, sorry, it was a little bit ago. Central Illinois. Oh, to the mental health thing. Yeah, yeah, we should check that out, man. It'd be fun to meet up too. Um, usually stop local, what? Usually stop local, but groceries are getting really expensive in Roundup, so sometimes paying the gas is cheaper. Huh? You know what's even cheaper? Growing your own. Um, Rose says, I was in therapy for a lot of years. I was very depressed and I had panic attacks. I thought about killing myself and I would never be able to do my family. So I spent 6 years in therapy. Wow. Uh, it's something that maybe now you look back on and thank yourself for doing it, because a lot of people don't have the willpower to put themselves through something like that. Therapy's not the end of the world, but some people are very very afraid to open up, and so Rose, I commend you for that. Dude, my wine was better. What is that, Chris? You got some toilet wine, making some hooch. What you got? Well, do we know the quality of whatever is being put into those veggie burgers? No, but I mean, if you're talking about a fast food restaurant, there's very very few items on the menu that could be looked at as healthy. Even like salads. I think McDonald's had salads, but when you get like a bowl of lettuce with like a few other items in it, like that's not health. It's barely even calories. Where it says the New York Cannabis Board was doctors or has doctors talking about cannabis in medicine. They have different specialty or specialists talking about how it helps with different diseases. Okay, we're seeing a lot of that with the VA experimenting or researching. I guess should put cocaine back in coke, get more done. Maybe interesting. We'll miss our food and wine classic in Aspen. Yeah, it's only 3 grand. Martha Stewart. See, they're friends with Martha Stewart. You might get to meet Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg if you go. Martha Stewart's surprising hack for perfect meatballs. Perfect meatballs. What's perfect? Like the taste or the shape? Food and Wine 25 global test. Oh, wait, we read that before actually. Let me see if there's anything new going on. What about drink news? We looked at food news last week. Beer news, coffee and tea news. Oh, so many coffee brands out there. You know the coffee brand I like? 1775coffee.com. Just kidding. They don't pay me to say that. I should not say that until they pay me. Coffee is getting pricier, but this simple hack lets you brew more with less. Okay. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Calling it coconut water. Americanos are the coffee drink of the summer. Coconut water Americanos. Is that coconut water Americano, or is that? See, I'm not a coffee drinker. I do drink tea. Oh no, that's this one here. Coconut water Americanos. Those look good. Starbucks summer menu just dropped. So am I looking at the wrong? Does this go with this? Let's find out. I might be looking at the wrong title. Ah, so these are the Starbucks drinks. I see. Yeah, no thanks on the Starbucks. No thanks on the Starbucks. Let me go back up here to this coconut water Americano. It does look good. What's in it? Sunny days of spring are here. The summer is so close. We can taste it, especially when sipping social media's favorite new coffee trend, iced coconut water Americano. I have not seen this trend. Has anyone else seen this trend on the Foos books? We hope your Instagram and TikTok feeds looks something like ours. No, it doesn't. uh, Packed with happy caffeinated people. See, caffeinated, right? I bet they're all against cannabis, but they're all for caffeine because in their minds that, oh, it's not that bad. Caffeine has just as much of an addiction and and probably more health issues. I would almost think because of, it's a diuretic, and it also has a lot of issues with like headaches and stuff like that. um, Caffeine headaches. I don't know. I'd be interested in a direct comparison to the pros and cons between caffeine and cannabis or THC. Um, anyway, I always notice that we just love happy caffeinated people flaunting their love for this energizing and hydrating drink. The idea is as simple as it gets and nearly identical to a traditional Americano, but with one major swap. Pour coconut water over ice, then top it with a shot or two of espresso. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. What it was. What it was. What is it? What is it exactly? Okay, well, that's fine. Foodandwine.com today seems like mostly just recipes. I like to look at the articles about the informative things on our food issues right now. But here we are at marijuanamoment.net. Let's look into some culture. Let's see. That's 4 weeks ago, a month ago. Okay, not much new in the culture. Science. Is there anything recent? Legalizing marijuana reduces the cost of workers' compensation claims and lowers prescription drugs by patients. This is from 2 days ago. Not bad. We can do that. Drug use by patients, study shows. Okay. Did we read that? No, this is a new article, so we didn't read this. New study on marijuana legalization effect on workers' compensation finds that while the policy change is associated with a gradual increase in workers' comp claims, the average cost per claim, in fact, fell after the policy change, as did patient use for prescription drugs, especially opioids and other painkillers. Yes, I've read a few stories like this. This is yet just another story, another news story in this long chain of you know evidence. Alice, hello, just tried some coconut water a couple of days ago, and you didn't like it. Ahmad, hey, hello. Did you give it a try to get on the Rumble? Let me know. I might have missed your request to get in, so let me know. Let's see. Where were we? Report from the Nonprofit Workers' Compensation Research Institute (WCRI) tracks what researchers described as complex effects that adult use marijuana legalization has on both work injury risks themselves and the cost of workers' compensation claims. Now, I'm going to make a bold guess here and say that people may get injured if they use cannabis more often, but the injuries are probably dumb little things, like stub my toe or cut my finger or something, like nothing like. I don't see a lot of big fatal injuries or accidents happening from cannabis, but I'm biased. I'm a little biased. Let's see here. One on oh, wait, one hand, one hand. For example, the study says that recreational marijuana laws. See, maybe they were high when they wrote this. One hand. See, anytime you see a mistake, you're going to assume it's cannabis related because this is a cannabis website, right? I feel the same way about me and my show. Look, people make these mistakes trying to read or microphones not being on all shows, not just cannabis related shows. If you didn't watch my show on Monday, it's like another few minutes of the mic not working, and I had to shut it. I had to reset it, and then it started working. So I love these silent intros on my shows. I've done a couple times, but it is what it is. Technical issues. On average, over a period of 1.7 years after legalization, states saw the frequency of workers' comp claims increase by 7.7%. After 5 years, that increase had jumped to 15%. Wow. So um, an increase by 15%. On the other hand, the report says the average medical payment per claim decreased after the adoption of RMLS's partly driven by decrease in prescription utilization and cost. Okay, well, I could see that because the cost of the meds being covered by your insurance company is quite a bit of the treatment. Specifically, it says adult use cannabis legalization reduces medical payments per claim by $207 or 5.7% at 12 months of maturity. Interesting. Okay. Not a ton of savings, but per patient, that adds up. Cost saving resulted in part from a 13.9% reduction in prescriptions, including an 11.7% drop in pain medication prescriptions per claim. The proportion of claims with opioid prescriptions dropped by 9.7%. Authors added, we also found decreases in sleep aid prescriptions. The new 51-page report drew on data from 31 states, looking at workers' comp claims filed between October 12th and March 2022. Okay. Hi, Tina. Appreciate you coming in. If you guys would like to tag a few friends in here on the Facebook side, we'll probably get to our goal and you can get in on the door prize if you'd like. The report lists 4 key findings following RML adoption. One claim frequency increased 2 per claim. Increased 2 per claim medical payment declined. 3, the number of pain medication prescription, including opioid prescription, declined. And 4, there was no change in indemnity benefits nor no total claim duration except for in the later years of RML adoption. Can it? Wait. Okay, WCRI said in a press release that the findings can inform debates on issues such as marijuana rescheduling, occupational treatment guidelines, state THC regulation, or marijuana taxes. This research is important as marijuana use continues to rise, said Ramana Tanabe, the Institute's president and CEO. Our study highlights the complex effects RMLs have on work injury risk and workers' compensation claim costs. This information is relevant for policymakers, insurance carriers, medical providers, labor advocates, and employees as they navigate these evolving changes. Let me check out some comments here. I went off my antidepressants last year because of cannabis. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. I don't like coconut water either. Rose, you tried it, and it's high in potassium, and I have to be careful. So too much potassium is a bad thing. Yeah. New, I don't know. Hmm. All for the little pills the doctors give them. Yeah, that's right, Chris. All right, let's see. I think we're pretty much done with this story. Business. Florida marijuana legalization campaign joins lawsuit against new ballot initiative restrictions signed by DeSantis. Okay, let's check it out. Thanks, Tina. Ahmad, I tried to access Rumble with no luck. I didn't. I wasn't paying attention. I may not have seen your request, Ahmad. If you want to, do you want to give it a try again, or maybe it was me. I didn't see it soon enough. Hmm. So they're fighting back against this bill. Smart and Safe Florida. Interesting. The group seeking to legalize recreational marijuana in Florida has joined a legal challenge to a newly approved crackdown on ballot initiatives. Is there an access code to click there? I have to accept. I have to allow it once you click in there. Once you go into the studio, I have to accept you or whatever. And I might have missed it on the screen. So if you want to give it a shot again, see if we can get you on here. Where was I? Smart and Safe Florida over the weekend asked to intervene in a federal lawsuit filed last week by an organization seeking to place Medicaid expansion on the 2026 ballot. U.S. Chief District Judge Mark Walker granted Smart and Safe's request on Monday. Walker, meanwhile, has set a telephonic conference on May 14th to discuss. Oh, that's today. Discuss scheduling for the lawsuit and how to move forward. Okay, so they're meeting today on this. Smart and Safe Florida, the group behind the proposed constitutional amendment to legalize recreational use of cannabis in 2024, is actively working to get another measure on the ballot in 2026 and didn't respond to requests for comment. You think they would comment? You think they would give an interview to marijuanamoment.net? But in a lengthy court filing, Smart and Safe Florida called the new restrictions signed into law by Governor Ron DeSantis legislative gaslighting. That is not as well. Let me just say real quick: Florida is all passing a bill. I believe it's either passed or it's on its way to pass for psilocybin therapy. And it's just funny how like I think maybe the term recreational is the part they don't like, and it's just splitting hairs at that point. Any drug, any medicine can be recreational used. I mean, I don't know anybody who's recreationally taken Tylenol, but what I mean is anything that's sort of sufficiently mood altering. It's not designed to block fraud in the initiative process as contended by the governor and others but will effectively destroy the people's right to invoke the citizen initiative. Hmm. I think the citizen initiative is when enough people in the state want something, kind of like how what happened in Colorado. Bud, you're falling off your bed there. There you go. Hey, Margaret. Good morning. The group, which has been largely financed by medical marijuana giant TrueLeave, was behind the 2024 initiative that fell just short of the 60% threshold needed to get approval. Okay, so that is what that is. Okay, that is what I thought. They have already started gathering uh, or petitions, sorry, to try to make the 2026 ballot and have more than 200,000 signature verification or verified. Well, good luck to Floridians on this one. You better get out and vote, I guess. Smart and Safe Florida says some of the restrictions in the law, including a ban on using out of state residents to collect petition signatures have already hampered their efforts. Well, so they want to use out of state residents. Well, because they're supposedly residents of Florida still. I get it. I see why that's contentious. The organization has halted mailing out petition forms to registered voters due to new requirements to turn over signed petitions within 10 days. So you wouldn't get there and back, I guess. The law prohibits felons, non-citizens, and non-Florida residents from acting as petition circulators or cure, yeah, circulators. So they can't even circulate the petitions if you're not. Hmm. Requires additional personnel identifying information for voters signed petitions forms and for petition circulators, and includes a requirement to place a financial impact statement drawn by a state uh, controlled panel and petition forms. Okay, that financial impact statement requires a requirement violates its First Amendment rights. Smart and Safe Florida argues. Well, it looks like it's going to be a battle. There's quite a bit more of this. I guess there's not that much more. Let's see here. That financial impact statement requirement violates its First Amendment rights. Oh, I already read that. While the legislature, mostly the House, fought with the governor throughout the session, the Republican leadership did come together to pass HB 1205. DeSantis signed into law 3 days after receiving the bill. The new law stems from a report that the DeSantis administration that alleged fraud and petition gathering process. The January report published by the state's Office of Election Crimes and Security alerts that more than 100 representatives of the group attempting to pass the abortion rights amendment last year committed crimes related to gathering petitions. Yeah, I mean, anybody's seems like yeah, if you're trying to pass an initiative it's not going to be easy to pass. You're going to see people trying to do things less than legally, if you know what I mean. See if Hamad said anything yet. No, I'm not seeing him come in yet. Hey, Kari. Hey, Sheena. Good morning. Let's see. Meanwhile, Florida Decide Healthcare field in a lawsuit last week. The group has been working to get its proposed constitutional amendment on expanding Medicaid to this statewide ballot in November 26, November 2026. In a press conference last week, Florida Decided Executive Director Mitch Emerson called the law a calculated and cowardly attempt by politicians in Tallahassee to rewrite the rules not to serve the people but to protect their own power. Well, I don't know. This is a tough one because I can understand not wanting a bunch of fraud within the petition gathering sort of group. But at the same time, if you can verify the people on the petition and not even care about who got those people to sign, I don't see why that would be. I don't see why that wouldn't be the thing. Like, I don't care if you're from, you know, wherever, uh, Spain, and you're over here getting petitions for Floridians to do this. I mean, I could see it being kind of weird, but yeah, it's kind of they're fighting here. It's fighting tooth and nail, I guess, for the and also it seems like they're trying to get it added into Medicaid. I didn't that didn't fall flat on me. There's another term I can't think of, but when they say here they're trying to expand Medicaid in the statewide ballot in 2026, are they trying to add medical cannabis into Medicaid? Like, I don't know. I don't know where Medicaid comes in on recreational cannabis. Like, what does Medicaid have to do with recreational cannabis? Right? I don't know. It's a weird one. Thing is, the percentage of trans people is so low, it's ridiculous that they have to pick on minorities. Things. Who's talking about trans people, Rose? They were talking about, or I guess there was an abortion push last year in Florida. That's what they mentioned in here, but then they're talking about recreational cannabis. Did I miss something? Maybe you're talking about something else. I'm not sure who's picking on the trans people in this article. At least maybe I missed something that. Well, we are getting close to the hour mark anyway, so let's pull up the wheel and get some numbers put on here. Remember, Facebook, we are about 8 people shy of getting you into to the door prize this episode. Anybody wants to get in on the giveaway from Facebook? I would do that if we get up to 25 people in the house. We're at 17 right now. Okay, let me look here. Number 5 is the only winner. Miss Jess. Where is Jess? Somebody tag Jess in here. I thought she'd pop in on the morning show more often. She might be at the gym. I don't know. Okay. Jess is the one who won Monday, number 5. I need to go and check to see if there's any new numbers on the locals here. Okay. Yes, they are. Some people forget to hit the like button. Let's see, Perry's number 1. Let me get up here. Jess is 5. Kayla's 7. Justin is 8. Rose, okay. Rose is number 9. All right. Chris, number 10. I try to make this post or this number wheel after game night on Sundays. Game night all day. Brenda, did you already get a number? Or were you just telling me? Okay, no, I don't see it. All right, so Brenda's number 11. So far, that's all we have this week, but we got one more spin tomorrow night on People in the Boxes. So if you want to get in on that, you just have to subscribe over on the indoorfarmer.locals.com for $2 a month and or $20 for the whole year. Okay, number 11. Chris mentioned Florida. Oh, I see. I understand. Yeah, I send me the story, Chris. We could check. We could read it. Friend of mine moved from Florida to Tennessee because she's getting the whole operation done, and she had to delay everything because then she has to move to a different state. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, if you know somebody personally who is transgender or whatever, or even all the everything in between, non-binary, all these different things, it's probably not easy to navigate, even as someone outside looking in. So I, where's my? Oh, there it is. I can't imagine. I can't imagine having mental conditions, and that is something we talk about often on not only People in the Boxes, but throughout the years. I think everybody has something going on that maybe they think it's unique to them, and that nobody else can understand. But the human condition is pretty. Uh, there's a wide variety, but it's also pretty generalized too. Everyone will struggling is the point of life, but also the beauty of life, having differences, everyone being so different. That is the beauty and the curse of life at the same time, because maybe we'll never agree on things, but that variety and that difference of people also brings us all sorts of things we never thought would be possible. So it is one of those things that's kind of a conundrum. Life sucks, but life is awesome. So anyway, I know that's rambling, but I like to generalize people into saying, like, look, you're not alone. There's a lot of people suffering out there, and maybe totally different things. Let's spin this wheel. This will be one wheel spin, but then we'll do another one right after, I think. Hey, Chris, good morning. 20 people, guys. If we get 5 more people in here, we will add Facebookers to the door prize. Facebook, if you want to help me out, I have almost 5,000 friends and followers on my profile, and almost 4,100 followers on my page. And for some reason, we can't even get 10 people in here on Facebook. But if you guys want to help me out and hit the tag, hit the share, find some friends, hell, share it directly to DMs, if you know people that would like the show, or share it in a group that you think is allowing your share and such. I don't like to harp on the likes and shares, but if the Facebook friends want to get in on the door prize, we have to get up to 25 people in here. We got 20 right now. I do encourage you to come find us on Rumble, though. Obviously, Rumble is the place to go. Okay, number eight. Number eight. And Scroy, thank you for finding me on the Rumble today. And shouts out to Scroy. He won a game night ticket as a non-member, and he still came out with three prizes on Sunday. Three prizes, and he's not even a member. That's because he gets in on the door prize, and he gets in on well, yeah, the door prize. I guess is the best way for them. But also, you can get a game night ticket from someone who is a member if they want to give them away. I believe Margaret is planning to give a few away when she gets to 420 members of her group. Shouts out to MJ's Baked Goods on Facebook. Okay, let's find out who number eight is real quickly. Justin James Calderwood. That's the man. Let's go. JJC. Hell yeah! Congratulations, Justin. If anybody, you're welcome to tag him on Facebook. He does not have to come in here, but it is always fun to say congrats. Congrats, you won. Jeez, can't type. There we go. Awesome. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way to do it. Justin is been one of my supporters for a long time, and not able to hang out and sit and watch the show, but been supporting from knowing my vision and knowing where we're going. But now we can get him in on game night if he wants to do that. Okay, awesome. Let's do another spin. Nobody. I checked to make sure nobody jumped in on the numbers, so we didn't have to add any. Rose says bomb threat at Finger Lakes Community College today. Oh wow. I mean that's newsworthy, but I really try to stick to health related topics on Wednesdays. I do plan to do more additional segments randomly throughout the day. Maybe not today because I have some appointments to get to, but I have plans to do lots of segments on different stories that come up newsworthy health related. If you didn't catch mine on uh, Monday, I did one for it's like a quick 20-minute segment about and actually I'm probably going to cut it down a little bit more to about 10 minutes. Let's see, you had a phone call, Rose, no worries. 21 guys, get six more people in the house, and we'll get Facebook on the this next wheel that I spin. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Margaret, thank you for uh, letting him know he won. I'm sure he's going to be excited. All right, I'm going to spin. I'm going to put the rumblers on the wheel for the door prize after this. And if you on Facebook want to get to the door prize, we need three more people in the house, and we'll do most everyone's on Rumble, but definitely giving the Facebookers the option, the challenge, if you will. Kayla's tagging away. Thanks, Kayla. Kristen was in here earlier. She got to hear on Monday. I think I ripped a little flatulence while live. It was a good moment. I should cut that as a reel. Um, she heard it. I don't know if anyone else heard it, but now you know. I should have blamed it on the dog. Sprout. Thanks, Kayla. Yeah, there's no at followers anymore. I think they got rid of it. Number 10. Number 10. Didn't I just add number 10? Who was number 10? Who does number 10 work for? So Brenda is 11. Chris, my man, is number 10. Crispy. Oh yeah. You know what? Let's pull up the Sprout cam. Oh, poor Sprout. Let's pull up these eggs that I showed off on Monday. This is oddly satisfying to sit here and do. You can't hear it, but maybe if I turn my other microphone on. I'm thinking about recording some and just doing a little ASMR video. See, tell me if you guys can hear this. See if I can get it in the shot. Can you guys hear this? All right, I'm done. I'll wait for the answer. I gotta crush them up a little bit more anyway to sprinkle it. Whoa, don't go flying off the table, my guy. You could hear it, Alice. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good ASMR. All right, Mr. Sprout is still tired, so we'll leave him be. Okay, we need to get the wheel rocking for the door prize. You can hear it, Kayla. Pretty good, huh? Pretty like I don't know how well. I'll have to listen back to the show and listen for the crispness. Crispness. Okay, actually, all three of you can stay on from last time. You've all been here, Jess, MJ, and Chris. Kayla. Of course, I'm getting everybody from the Rumble side. If Facebook, we still need four. Now we need 6 more people in here before I can add Facebook to the wheel. Rose. Let's see who else. If you're watching on Rumble and you can't comment, it's all good. Um, I don't fault you for it. Not everybody likes to comment, but if you could just hit that reaction for me, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Okay, looking for anybody else on the Rumble. Oh, Scroy, that's right. Scroy's going to win another game night coupon, a ticket this time, and win more on game night without being a member. It's funny. Let's do it. You couldn't hear it, Rose? It's all right. Not too worried about it. Like a sound effect in a movie, walking on leaves. Yeah. Kayla did the at followers. Yeah, I can't do at followers anymore. It's weird. All right, we got a little time though. I guess we can go and check out what's happening on X while we wait to see if Facebook steps up. I mean, we've got 15 over on the Rumble. I'm happy. I'm happy with Rumblers. I'd love to see more people on Rumble, but I know I have more followers on Facebook. Where are you guys at? Welcome to the team, David Bois. Interesting. I do follow Chris Pavlovsky and a few people that are Rumble. Um, he's the owner of Rumble, but then or the CEO, I guess. But then there's a bunch of Rumble employees that I follow on here. A local Gromy owns a microgreen business that supplies sushi restaurants. When he gets out of town, when he goes out of town, I get to be the caregiver of his cash crop. That's awesome. Miss Highly Gonginus, you might know her from the Facebook side. Okay. Let's look for some more health related stuff. May not like the Maha movement, but it's an easy search on X to find out what's going on. America is still debating the benefits of raw milk. Italy has raw milk in vending machines all over the country. Wow. Let's listen to this.
This is my third bottle. Okay, this is what Maha needs to take a lesson from Italy. They literally have raw milk vending machines all around the country. You buy a little bottle here, like this. Look, I already got 2 of them today. I got 2 bottles already. This is my 3rd bottle. And you just insert your little coins. It's like €1 for a bottle and like another euro for the milk. And then you just go like this, hit start, and you get raw milk straight out of a vending machine.
Straight out of the vending machine.
This is revolutionary. Okay, this is what.
If your veggies die when they are small, do they count as microgreens? No, Chris. I mean, they were micro and they were green, but if they die, they're definitely not. Maha Alliance. Okay, so people are now just like naming themselves after it. Just like, honestly, like I think it's cringe. You know, the people that their name is so pinpointed to a certain movement, just like cannabis. There's a lot of that out there, and no offense to those that do, but like, what if you decide to change? What if you quit smoking cannabis? What if, or what about me? Like, I could push that on my own myself. Like, what if I decide I can't grow things indoors anymore? I don't think I could. I don't think I would ever decide that, but I do. I've always said I plan to grow things outside as well. See what it says here. We sat down with Dr. Joel Gator Warsh, a renowned pediatrician specializing in integrative medicine. Interesting. Okay. That's not a. Oh, here we go. The people who are mad at RFK Jr. for wanting to make America healthy again. No, that's just one guy that looks unhealthy. That's bull. That's just clickbait. Meet Casey Means, Maha's U.S. Surgeon General nominee. Uh-oh. Let's see what she's all about. I know there's some pretty crappy nominees out there.
So more than a health epidemic, which is what we have in this country. I mean, health is getting destroyed in the United States, which we don't really talk about because it's not profitable to heal in this country. It's profitable to keep people sick and then drug them, cut them, and bill them, which is what we learn how to do. And really what we have here is a disconnection crisis. And the healthcare crisis is one branch of that tree. We're disconnecting the body into 100 separate parts and not seeing as a unified system. And we're disconnecting the body from the environmental conversation, which actually we're really one and the same. You know, we are totally connected to nature, and in destroying nature through the pesticides and the way we're treating animals, our health is a reflection of what we're doing to the earth.
Have a good day, Rose.
So more than a health epidemic.
Well, I agree with what she said. I like it. Just left my friend RFK after dropping off his award and reminded him how deeply he's appreciated. Angela Stanton King. Isn't that never mind. He's facing 2 Senate hearings tomorrow. Both Republicans and Democrats are trying to take him out before he can finish the job. If you're part of Maha, see, that's the thing. People who are quote Maha or MAGA, like they look at Republicans and Democrats as the enemy, like especially the ones who have been in here a long time. And but yet the people on the left look at Maha and MAGA as Republican, which, let's face it, there's 3 different factions here, and it's funny that it's like one versus the other 2, and another one that doesn't see that. I guess I don't know. I'm rambling, but it's interesting. Truly honored to accept the role of Chief Medical Advisor, Dr. Asim Malhotra. I have not heard about this guy. Let's hear him. Let's hear what he says.
Of American adults actually have.
Dr. Asim Malhotra is a British National Health Service trained consultant cardiologist, co-founder of Action on Sugar, and former honorary council member at Stanford University School of Medicine. Doctor, it's great to have you with us.
More than 90% of American adults actually have suboptimal metabolic health.
What would you do if you get the opportunity to change that?
What I focus on is what's called metabolic health, which is really at the root of many of these chronic diseases. And 90% of your healthcare dollars in the US are spent on managing these chronic diseases, which are rooted in poor metabolic health.
They essentially silenced any talk of any sort of alternative treatment. Is this a cautionary tale?
I see this as an opportunity. You know, as Einstein said, in every crisis lies opportunity. I think this is a time where we are literally fighting for humanity. We're fighting to free the world from corporate tyranny.
Dr. Aseem Malhotra, thank you for standing up against the globalists, world governments, mainstream media and corporations. He's an outstanding man and his father would be proud of him.
There's a brilliant executive order from the president on the...
All right, that music's going to get me booted or get me copyright claimed on Facebook. You know what? It wouldn't do that on Rumble. So, you know, eventually I will phase out the censorship platforms. But for now, as I'm still growing on Rumble, shouts out to my Rumble followers, still growing on X. You know, where are we at on X? 1,138 followers on X. Go check out my group here if you haven't joined the group, Maccabees Live Market by WTIF on X. It's just like a group on Facebook, but different. Wait, where'd my search go? Actually, let's search HHS real quick. Wow. HHS whistleblower Tara Lee Rodas says she raised concerns about sending so many illegal migrant children to the same address. I was told, Tara, we only get sued if we keep kids in care too long. We don't get sued by traffickers. So, like, if anybody thinks that, you know, it's so cruel to stop the migration of, you know, people illegally into our country, I want you to think about the children. You know, you think Republicans don't care about children or whatever, kids and taking kids from families or whatever. I'm sorry, but if I was to commit a felony and get arrested, my kids would get taken from me. Like it happens with citizens too. Just like you can't send your kid with you to jail, right? That's not how that works. And this is just another point of information to show that for years, and especially in the last administration, there were policies on just pushing kids, you know, into whatever situations. They didn't care as long as they weren't being held in, you know, government facilities. Yeah, it just irks me. I mean, there's like 300,000 children that are missing from doing this, and they're gonna, you know, hopefully slow down that incentive to bring a kid with you across the border so that you can get in and say, this is my kid, you can't separate us, all these things that were being done. Are there some real families with their actual children coming? Probably, but a whole lot of them are definitely you know, exploiting these children and then sending like probably dozens of kids to the same address. Like, you're gonna tell me that's okay? Well, yeah, because then they just get filtered out into that's just dumb. It's dumb. Anyway, I see us going the other direction, so we're gonna go ahead and spin the wheel here in a minute. But I want to see what this is. Sorry, I'm not cutting this clip. Okay. Let's see what this is about.
That we often compare ourselves to, like with the measles issue, Mr. Secretary, you keep comparing the U.S. to other countries. You compare us to Europe, but the Europe you are referring to is the WHO European region. That's 53 countries in Europe and in Asia, including those with low vaccination rates like Romania, that has never eliminated measles. If you compare us to Western Europe countries that we often compare ourselves to, like Great Britain, they have seen no measles death this year. Let me move to the NIH. In your testimony, you say you want to quote, and I quote, rescale our biomedical research budget, unquote. Excuse me, but that's BS. You are not rescaling NIH research. You are proposing to cut it by $20 billion. And according to our colleagues in the Senate, NIH has effectively cut research funding by $2.7 billion this year. In comparison,
That is rescaling.
comparison to the same period last year. That's a cut of 35% during that period. That includes cutting cancer research by 31%. This is the report put out by the Senate, Trump's War on Science, which goes into detail about how we are, in fact, dealing with cutting scientific research. Mr. Secretary, are you freezing or withholding funding that Congress appropriated in 2025 for life-saving NIH research?
Let me address your first issue first, because I want to correct you. We have about 1,100 measles cases in this country. The growth rate last year was 15 additional, so we have plateaued. Mexico has roughly the same number with a third of our population, and they got 300 extra cases last week. Canada has more measles, 1,500. They have 1/8 of our population. Western Europe has about 6,000, which is 10 times the number that we have.
Well,
you are wrong about what you said earlier.
We can discuss that, but I think one has to consider whether or not we're dealing with decades of data proving how effective and safe the measles vaccine is. I want to move to that. I want my questions answered on, are you freezing and withholding funding that Congress appropriated in 2025 for life-saving NIH research?
We are not withholding any funding for life-saving research.
Okay. Do you commit to following the law?
Of course.
Fully obligating funding that Congress appropriated. We appropriated. It is the law of the land for NIH research, and to obligate those funds
big
by
pharma check.
September 30th of this year. Or are you planning to break the law by impounding congressionally appropriated funds?
If you appropriate me the funds, I'm going to spend them.
We have in the bill. You are cutting the NIH by $18 billion, or you're proposing to cut it by $20 billion. The Congress appropriated those funds. It passed into law. It's part of the 2024 budget, and we are under a continuing resolution that has adopted the 2024 numbers. How then can you justify cutting $20 billion from the biomedical research budget?
If you appropriate the money to me, I'm going to spend that.
We have appropriated, Mr. Secretary.
Then I'm going to spend it.
Then you're going to spend. You're not going to cut $20 billion from the NIH.
The White House proposal is to do very, very large cuts at NIH.
Well, that is contrary to the money appropriated.
Ranking member.
Yes.
If Congress appropriates me the money, I'm going to spend the money. You have the power of the purse here.
Thank you.
You know that.
Thank you for reiterating that. But I think that I'm not sure the administration really has internalized that. Particularly, Mr. Vogt hasn't internalized that when he says that we can in fact impound money. The money is there. The 2024 budget includes the funding for the NIH. Will you commit to spending the money that is in 2024 in that budget?
As I said, ranking member, if you appropriate the money, I'm going to spend that money.
The money has been appropriated. So the answer to that is if you're not willing to accept the funds that have been lawfully voted by members of the House and Senate on the money for the National Institutes of Health. Well, I'm going to hold you to your word that that funding is there. It should be transferred from 24 to 25, and you've cut already $20 billion. Let's get that money back. Let's get that money back. You have an obligation to carry out the law and to implement what the Congress has done. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Chronic disease and tobacco. Tobacco use is a major contributor to chronic disease and is a leading preventable cause of death in our nation. Each year, killing nearly 500,000 Americans, costing the nation nearly $250 billion in healthcare costs. CDC's tips from former smokers media campaign alone is estimated to have saved more than $7 billion in healthcare costs by helping more than 1 million smokers quit. Why did you eliminate CDC's Office of Smoking and Health, an office that reduces the number of kids using tobacco products, helps order tobacco users to quit, and saves taxpayers dollars?
We have, under the reorganization, and I'm going to talk very, very broadly, because as of 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, we are under a court order not to do any further planning on the reorganization. And I've been advised by my attorneys and not to talk about it. But I will just say broadly, many of the programs that the Democrats are now saying were cut at CDC were not cut at all. Those programs were transferred to the Administration for Healthy America. But I'm not permitted to talk in any more detail because of a court order.
I know we're just dealing with words. You transfer it here, there's less money overall for the agency, therefore there's less money for the programs. In both 2024, 2025, Congress,
See-
again, power of the purse resides here.
She's worried about the specific programs that they've already done deals for in the back room, where they've done deals with big pharma and research places and scientists and medical facilities, and those places are now coming in and be like, "Whoa, we're not going to get our money." And I get what she's saying is if Congress appropriates money to the department, then in what RFK is saying is I can spend it however I want if you appropriate it to me. But what she's saying, I think, what it sounds like, what she's saying, the individual program, is that there are people, specifically that were supposed to get the money that had already worked out deals. Now, I don't think that they can do that, though. I think that she has to appropriate money to the NIH, not to like some pharmaceutical company through the NIH. That's what they're doing, but they can't do it like directly. They can't say that. She can't say that. Well, and look, just my guess. Okay, my opinion is that she's probably like, well, my buddies that they're not buddies. They're probably not even friends. Obviously, these people that have to make deals, these lobbyists and all this and that, it's just deals. And I think well, there's a few more minutes of this. I'm gonna finish it.
Here, appropriated $246 million for CDC's tobacco prevention programs. Do you commit to following the law again, fully obligating those funds so that we can help adults who want to quit using tobacco and prevent teens from becoming addicted?
Allow me to answer that by pointing out the absolute cataclysmic disorganization of this agency under your oversight for 40 years. We had 9 separate offices of women's health. When we consolidate them, the Democrats say we're eliminating them. We're not.
See,
We're still appropriating the $3.7 billion. But
problem is when they eliminate multiples of certain things like women's health offices, there are people that are losing their jobs and people who are, that made deals and did different little, favors and this and that. And you have, management, upper leadership in those different offices. And, that's probably what they'd be mad about.
we're not keeping all 9. We had 8 separate offices for minority health. We eliminated 1. We had 27 HIV offices.
Okay, let me just, I'm going to
We had
interrupt.
59
The
behavioral
chair is
health
right.
programs.
I'm well over time. If you could just get us
She wants to
what has
stop.
been eliminated,
Don't say that anymore.
why you're doing it, and the criteria by which
You just
the
said.
elimination has occurred. That is information that this committee needs in order to be able to do our job in terms of appropriating funds. Thank you.
And
for
we
your
will
indulgence.
gladly provide that to you, but right now we're under a court order that prohibits us from doing so.
Yep,
Okay,
it's the
before we go on, I
courts.
just want to say, we also need to make sure that we bear in mind that the secretary is here talking about FY26 funding. So he is committed to that. So I just want to make sure that we're all clear. We're talking about FY26 on this.
FY26. What's FY26? Let's find out. It must be specific bill appropriation or money appropriation. Y26. Yeah, the FY26 budget. Yeah, it's their budget. Fiscal year 26, I guess. That makes sense. Financial performance. Okay. I mean, they're under continuing resolution right now, so they're talking about next year or when they do the budget for next year. All right, let's do this door prize and get going. Getting a call. All right, Chris. So the took his money, didn't spend it for what it was for, and put it somewhere else. No, I don't think they. I mean, when Congress appropriates money, it's not like they send them 20 billion. It's all digital. It's all, like, I don't think that's how it works. I mean, they have it appropriated so he can spend out of that fund or out of that allotment. But as you heard him say, like, they're eliminating waste, like multiple offices of the same thing. And yeah, that's gonna lower the cost of the overall department. But like he also said, if they want to appropriate the money now, I don't know, it seems really a little bit confusing there, because it sounds like he's doing some cuts, which isn't necessarily saying I want less money. It's saying here's a thing we can cut that costs money, and there's a difference between those. And it's hard to listen to RFK because of his voice. And if you don't know, evidently it was a vaccine injury that caused that. I don't know all the details, but you may have heard that he had a worm in his brain. You know what? Almost everybody ends up getting a parasite in their life. We just, a lot of times, we don't even know it. So keep that in mind when you think about your cleanse. You might might get uh, some kind of cleanse drink. There's different stuff you can eat to help cleanse or to get rid of parasites. Anyway, good luck. Thank you guys for coming in on the Rumble. Facebook still sucks. I saw a few friends on Facebook today. That was pretty cool. 4 likes, really? Wow. It's more than that who commented. Oh, 16. Okay, it just didn't update. That's weird. Facebook trying to mess with my mental health. Facebook makes more money when there's people that are freaking out and upset on their website. They don't make no money off of the good news. Oh, they might some. Push back on myself a little bit there. Hey, Chris, you a double winner today, Chris. Dude, the worms inside my brain are psycho, and they've crawled out of my ear. Yeah. Well, no, that's a real thing. You can get I'm sure many people have had it. Let's see, door prize. Chris. Chris won twice. It's 2 coupons, bro. Twice in the same episode. Very cool. Congrats. Well, that's probably going to do it for me, guys. I'll be back in a couple hours after my appointment. Probably check out some more stories at that point. See if anything pops up in my feed. See real quick here. If you haven't been, if you follow me on X, or if you don't follow me on X, come check it out at the Indoor Farmer on X. But if you follow me on X, go check out the Holy Health Space on Sundays. Every Sunday morning at 9 a.m., the Miss Apothecary and Doc Martin both get on there, and you can come up and talk if you have something to share. But it's always a super informative space on health, and they go into like a deep dive on specific topics. So if you're on X at all, definitely go and follow her. Be growing. I am truly blessed. No, nothing good there. Usually I find some good health stories on X. There's probably a whole bunch I'm just not thinking of at the moment. What's this? Wow. Now the new thing to post on X is, I'm connected to over this many thousand people. Where is everybody? How come you haven't commented lately? I hate to tell you guys this, but only a small percentage of your quote followers are people who actually want to engage with you. Some people have a bigger percentage. Let's see, nothing. Okay, all right, nothing worth reading. Let's go. Thanks again. Congrats, Chris. Why is my screen? Okay, there we go. Should have 6. I'm saving it for a pool table. I'll tell you how many you have. Looks like you have. That's 6. That is 6. I'm gonna put it down right now. Did you guys see my new display case? I could pull that up real quick. Pretty fun that I get to put all my cherished hats that have just been collecting dust, put it away into a case. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Sorry, the wiener's in my way. Hope they work the bugs out of it. It's this. Universal cancer vaccines are on the horizon thanks to the new mRNA advances. I mean, there's been a lot of other cancer advances, like things like, hey, if you don't eat sugar, it actually kills a whole lot of cancerous cells. Isn't cancer vaccine what caused the vampire zombie in I Am Legend? It sure was. Okay, well, interesting. Let's go to my page here. And if anybody is interested who's still listening, if you could help me get to that 5,000 mark, I'm on my profile. Invite some friends to follow me. It would be fun if you could do that. Try and get to the 5,000. I believe I get something else unlocked, even though Facebook mostly keeps it all pretty much restricted for me. Anyway, cool, right? Little display case. I do have hats still for sale and magnets, and I have this banner here behind me that you can buy. So if anyone's interested, hit me up. Yeah, there's some. I got my the Grow Fam hat there that was signed by Afro Man. And then I've got my hat up in the middle there, signed by a whole bunch of friends at a big event that I went to. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, we'll see you guys all later. Tomorrow is Thursday, so we'll be doing People in the Boxes at 8 o'clock. I believe we're going to do current events on this Thursday, so be there. I probably will also do a couple of early morning things. Let's see, Rumble exclusive. I could hang out on Rumble exclusive for a little while. I need to do 5 hours there. Let's do it. No, maybe I'll do a little outro first. Can't do the outro that I've been doing because it doesn't have the updated schedule on it. This is my updated schedule. I wonder if I can play this while playing the outro song.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer. Check my name. Sustainability. We about to reclaim. This is how we do it. Keep it in the frame. I'm waving the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro set up, my LED lights. Growing all my greens all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor farming, the hustle